History. Civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind ruins, legends, and puzzles that still baffle us today. Admire the pyramids of Egypt. The vast stone cities of South America. And the astronomical calendars. Yet hidden within these marvels is a haunting question. Did the ancients possess technologies that we have lost? It may sound like the stuff of myth, but consider this. While we celebrate our smartphones, rockets, and artificial intelligence, there are mysteries in ancient engineering that even our most advanced tools struggle to replicate. Could it be that human history isn't just a straight line of progress, but rather a cycle of gaining, losing, and rediscovering knowledge? Let's begin with stone. To the ancients, stone was more than building material. It was a canvas for genius. Pyramid of Giza. At over 6 million tons of stone, it was assembled with such precision that the stones fit together so tightly, not even a razor blade can slip between them. Each block, weighing tons, was somehow moved and placed without cranes, trucks, or modern machinery. Egyptologists explain it through ramps, sledges, and manpower. But would wooden sledges really haul 70-ton blocks of granite from hundreds of miles away? Cross the ocean to Peru and the story repeats. At Sacsayhuaman, vast stone walls rise like frozen waves. Some blocks weigh over 100 tons, with irregular shapes fitted together like a giant 3D jigsaw puzzle. No mortar, no gaps, just perfect harmony. Even earthquakes couldn't shake them apart. How? Chisels of bronze, we're told. But bronze bends like butter against granite. Were they working with techniques now lost to us? Could they have mastered ways to soften stone, as some legends suggest? Or perhaps developed mechanical methods we have yet to rediscover? These constructions challenge our assumptions. They remind us that knowledge doesn't always follow a straight line forward. Sometimes it slips through our fingers like sand. One intriguing possibility lies in vibration and sound. Ancient myths often speak of stones that moved themselves to the music of chants or horns. Pure fantasy? Not entirely. Modern physics shows us that resonance can shatter glass, and sonic levitation experiments have shown objects lifted by carefully tuned sound waves. What if the ancients understood acoustic properties more deeply than we realize? In Malta, the Hypogeum, a vast underground temple, contains chambers that amplify sound in eerie ways, capable of vibrating through the body. In the Andes, certain carved stones produce distinct tones, almost like instruments. Coincidence? Or traces of a forgotten science? Imagine a civilization that knew how to harness vibration to move matter. That wouldn't just be engineering, it would be transformative. But technology is not only stone and steel. Ancient medicine reveals another realm of forgotten brilliance. In India, Ayurvedic texts thousands of years old describe surgical techniques, even cataract removal. The Greek physician Hippocrates learned from Egyptian traditions that had already been refined for centuries. In China, acupuncture mapped energy pathways in the body long before modern science began to understand nerves and circulation. What is remarkable is not just that these methods worked, but that some of them align with discoveries we only confirmed with microscopes and lab tests in the last few centuries. For example, the bark of the willow tree was used in the ancient world to treat pain and inflammation. Today, we know it contains salicin, the basis of aspirin. How much more knowledge have we lost? What plants, what remedies, what insights slipped away when libraries burned and empires fell? Sometimes the evidence of ancient technology is not in myths, but in physical artifacts. The Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a shipwreck off Greece, stunned historians. Over 2,000 years old, it is a complex clockwork device with gears so precise it could predict eclipses, track planetary motions, and calculate the timing of ancient games. For centuries, we thought gear-based computing began in the Renaissance. Yet here was a mechanical computer from ancient Greece. And then there are stories from Roman engineers who used hydraulic systems to power mills, pumps, and even automatic doors in temples. The Baghdad battery, though debated, suggests that ancient peoples may have experimented with electrochemical cells. Are these isolated curiosities, or fragments of a much larger, forgotten technological landscape? Let's look at another mystery: light. Many ancient temples and tombs are decorated deep inside with stunning carvings and colors, yet no soot marks from torches are found. How were they illuminated? Some speculate polished mirrors channeled sunlight into dark chambers. Others suggest the use of chemical lamps or even primitive electricity. In Dendera, Egypt, reliefs show figures holding objects that resemble giant bulbs connected by cables. Most scholars dismiss this as symbolism, but the resemblance is striking. Similarly, legends speak of the Ark of the Covenant as a source of power and light. In North America, Incan myths describe golden discs that channeled the sun. Were these stories purely religious, or memories of technologies that blurred the line between science and spirituality? What becomes clear as we explore these mysteries is that knowledge is fragile. Libraries burned in Alexandria and Constantinople. Empires collapsed, taking their secrets with them. Oral traditions faded, and what survives are scattered clues, stone blocks, cryptic texts, artifacts pulled from the sea. We tend to imagine human progress as an upward arrow, but history whispers a different story, that knowledge can be lost as easily as it is gained. So why does this matter? Because the of forgotten technologies is not just about the past, it's about us. If entire civilizations could lose their greatest achievements, what makes us so sure ours is permanent? Our digital world, filled with data, depends on fragile systems. Imagine centuries from now, if our hard drives have corroded, satellites fallen, and data lost, what would remain of our knowledge? Would future archaeologists look at our skyscrapers and machines and wonder how we built them? Perhaps the ancients teach us humility. They remind us that intelligence is not exclusive to the modern age, that wisdom may be buried, waiting to be rediscovered, and that our greatest responsibility is not just to innovate, but to preserve. The forgotten technologies of the ancients invite us to rethink history. From stonework that defies logic, to machines centuries ahead of their time, to medical insights we are only now catching up with, the past is not silent. It speaks through mysteries that challenge our imagination. Perhaps we will never know exactly how the pyramids were built, or how stones were shaped with impossible precision. But maybe the point is not to solve every riddle, but to recognize the depth of human potential. The story of forgotten technologies is really the story of humanity itself, inventive, curious, brilliant, and sometimes forgetful. We are inheritors of both wisdom and loss. And as we look to the future, perhaps the greatest lesson the ancients left us is this: knowledge must not only be discovered, it must be remembered.